Hello everyone and welcome back to Tinderlost Gaming, and welcome back to my 7TV pulp campaign for Abbotts Bridge. Got the campaign map up here. You can see from last time the disciples of the Crimson Desert were successful in gaining control of the marina, much to the distaste of the Order of the Third Oath, but you know, that is what it is. So that's the way the campaign looks at the moment. So the disciples and the Barley Brig Morris men have got an early hold on Abbotts Bridge, but early days yet. We will see what happens when we come to this game. Now in this game we've got the Home Guard facing off against the Order, so the two losers of the previous games. So let's be interesting to see how they do. They've both been fairly well routed, I must admit. So hopefully we're going to see a bit more of a performance from both sides today. We are going to be playing, or I am going to be playing, the escape scenario. Previous games were the battle. I'm going to work my way through the scenarios. So this one is the escape scenario, and it says that under the synopsis, one caste has been discovered in enemy territory. Whether they're discovered trying to flee a bank raid or creep up on a coven of cultists, their plan have failed, and now they must flee for their lives, fighting to evade capture. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go across to the casts in a second, so you can have a look to see who's hitting the table today, and then we'll move on to the game. So let's move now to the cast and have a look at who is performing. Okay, here we are across at the casts today. We've got the Order of the Third Oath, led by Mayor Newbury. We've got the Dagonite Priestess, two Dagonites, Oldmar Finlay, some Fishfolk hybrids, and a Shoggoth. So standard loadout for the Order today. Hopefully they'll do a bit of a better job. Then we've got the Home Guard Reenactment Society, led by Captain Ernest Bannerman. We've got Jimmy James James, Private Harry Saunter, Private Fred Sykes, Jeffrey Charters Private Donald McGregor, and then we've got 6 Home Guard reservists. Again, both of these casts have got something to prove today. And here's what we're going to be playing on. Now it does look a bit Americana, but that's I'm using stuff like most of us gamers. I'm using what I've got. I'm trying to sort of replicate a bit more of a urban sprawl. We've got our objectives down. Some there, one there. Oops. Come around a little bit. One in there. And there we go, one over there. And this is the setup. There we go. So we'll get across to the table now to get some action going. Okay, so we've in the casts and we're now deployed. We've got the Home Guard here to my left who've all deployed coming across this side, and we've got the Order on this side coming across. So first things first, what we need to do is work out who is going to be escaping and who is going to be defending. So we'll go 1 to 3 is going to be the Home Guard, and then 4 to 6 will be the Lurkers, or the Order. So the Order with a 5, the Order are going to be making their way, and they've basically got to try and get off this board edge here. Oop. Can't really see my hands, but to my left hand side over here. This side. Whoop, there we go. Whoop, there we go. Okay, so we know that the Order need to peg it across. We've got our objectives all laid down, as you've seen from the board overview. Next thing we need to do is work out our gadget cards. So we've got our gadget deck. Give that a shuffle. And as per every game in this, they do get different gadgets, but for this campaign they're all using the pulp gadgets, and they're going to get 4 gadgets and they get to choose 2 each. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Home Guard, 1, 2, 3, 4, for the order. So, what has the Home Guard got? They have got Miasma of Morpheus. Play on models activation. It costs 2 plot points. Got a range of 6. Place the 3-inch blast template anywhere within range of this model. All opposing non-robot models gain the weakened status. That's very cool. Then we've got Eye of Dark Seeing. Models activation. Costs 1 plot point. Until the effect is until the model's next activation, this model cannot be targeted by fight attacks, including 3 strikes. Okay. Then we've got a first aid kit. When played when opponent successfully strikes, costs 1 plot point. The model using this gadget can ignore the effect of 1 strike on themselves or a model in base contact. Okay. And then we've got Terror Gas. Models activation, 2 plot points. Place the 5-inch blast template in base contact with the model. All models under the template must immediately make a spirit test. Successful models can take a free action. Failed models must flee towards the nearest edge of the playing area. Ooh. Well, I'm definitely going to keep first aid kit, I think. And I'm going to keep the weakened one, I think. Weakened is pretty good. So that's the 2 for the Home Guard. First aid kit and Miasma of Morpheus. And then the 4 cards we've got for the order is X-Ray Gun. Model's activation costs 1 plot point, 12-inch range, a strike of +6. Choose a target model within 12 and line of sight. If that model is behind soft or hard cover, it's treated as being in the open as this turn. Okay. And then we've got Corazon del Diablo. Model's activation cost 1 plot point, 6-inch range. 1 model within range receives the captured status as moved into base contact with the model using this gadget. Oh, nice. Disintegrator Ray. Model's activation, 3 cost, 12-inch range. Gadget cuts a permanent door-sized hole through any single obstacle. And then Parachute Cloak is when falling. And again, my scenery doesn't really have multi-levels. So I think I am going to be taking the X-Ray Gun and the Corazon del Diablo, which is very, very good. So we'll put those there so we know that the order have got those. And then in the setup, it says basically the escaping casts are the defenders. So these, the order of the defenders. Both sides set up their models according to the cast start location rules, which we've done. The defenders must escape off any playing area edge in the attacker's start locations over here. And then we've got special rules. A model in the escaping cast can move off the playing area of their edge of their chosen escape route. Models doing so are considered to have escaped and do not count as removed from play when determining action tests. And then we've got victory points, which we'll go through at the end. The defenders start with the MacGuffin. That's why I've got the MacGuffin deck out. A new thing we're adding in for this round. They get 1 MacGuffin card. We'll do a cat weasel cut. And then the MacGuffin that the order have got is the Philosopher's Stone. Model's activation. It costs 2 plot points plus 1 plot point per turn. When a model is removed from play, the Philosopher's Stone can maintain the model on the brink of death. The model must immediately pay 2 plot points and pass a body statistic test to return in play. It may also pay a plot point and pass a body statistic test at the end. It must also pay 1 plot point and pass a body statistic test at the end of each turn while it has 1 health. If it passes, it remains in play. If it fails or cannot pay the 1 plot point, it's removed from play. The Philosopher's Stone may only be used on 1 model. Once used, remove this card from play. Okay, it says the defenders start with the MacGuffin in their possession. They do get the artifact, but they don't get any extra plot points for having it. If the side with the MacGuffin loses a model, roll 1d6. On a roll of 5+, the removed model with the MacGuffin token showing it has been dropped. Yes, it gets passed around in the heat of the action. The defenders don't get the VP for their stars and co-stars escaping. If the attackers don't claim the MacGuffin during play, then the defenders are assumed to have it at the end of the chapter. Right, what we need to do now is work out who has the first turn, or who's on screen first. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Bannerman, who's got a mind of 5. So bring his card up. There we go. He's got a mind of 4. And we're going up against Mayor Newbury, who has got also a mind of 4. Co-stars are exactly the same as well. You can use a co-star's mind. Well, actually, Jimmy James has only got a mind of 3. So we'll be rolling against Bannerman and Mayor Newbury. So let's roll for the home guard first of all. 4+. 4 is 8, and then we're going to roll for Mayor Newbury. 4+, 6. So there we go. The order become the cast that's on screen, but the home guard get an immediate 2 plot points. There we go, 2 plot points. Right. So, first things first, Act 1, cliffhanger card, the order are on screen. And we're going to get Bungled Stunt. Good job I took my time reading that one. Select an opposing extra. This model is knocked down. I am going to knock down McGregor down here. Because he was the one that activates these guys for a plot point. But I don't think it's going to make too much difference. So then what we're going to do is we're going to get our plot points for the Order of the Third Oath, and they get a mighty 7 plot points. Alright, okay, so first action or first activation from the Order is I'm going to pay 1 plot point to activate Old Ma Finlay up in the corner there. She's immediately going to pay 1 to do unit leader for fish folk hybrids, which is an action. I need to remember that it is an action, but the fish folk are going to then move. Let's get across the table. They're going to double move. To there. He's going to move, double move to there. He's going to double move to there, and he or she is going to double move to there. Then for her second action, Old Ma Finlay is going to move up there. That's Old Ma Finlay done. So we're down to 5 plot points for the Order, and then we're going to activate and pay 1 plot point, so it takes us down to 4. For the Shoggoth to activate, the Shoggoth is going to move 12. Try and get some cover. I'm just going to go to there, behind the bus station or the bus thingamajig. Bus stop. The bus stop. So that's the shog off done. We're then going to spend 1 plot point to activate Mayor Newbury, who, what he's going to do, he's going to hop over the wall, but he's going to lose, I'm saying he loses 2 inches to go over a wall. So we can go 4 over there to there. And then his next action, he's going to move again to be in base contact with the tree here, which has got an objective on it. So he's going to pop himself in there like that. So that's Mayor Newbury's 2 actions done. We're now going to activate the Dagonite Priestess for 1 plot point, who is then going to do her Leader 2 special rule and activate these 2 Dagonites. Doesn't cost anything. So when this model activates, choose 2 friendly models within 6 inches that have not activated this turn. Chosen models can activate this turn for free but cannot use their own leader or unit leader special rules. I'm going to play this as I do play the sort of other stuff. So immediately at this point her activation pauses, and then we're going to move the Dagonites 12 inches effectively. But we'll do 10 because we'll say they go over the wall. So 10 inches is going to put them basically there, like that. We'll just come back a little bit, I think, to there. And then the same thing with this one, both activations. And then for her last activation, she's going to go 6 to the wall there like that. So we're down to 2 plot points. Everybody's activated on the orders side. So I'm going to pass the screen time, pass the turn. So the home guard are now the team or the cast that's on screen. So first things first, let's draw a cliffhanger card for Act 1. Continuity Flim Flam. Switch 1 friendly extra's position for another. Models being switched do not suffer 3 strikes. Models cannot switch into or out of vehicles. Captured models may not be switched. It doesn't say may. I'm quite happy with the setup, so I'm just gonna flip these 2 boys about. So he's going to change spots there, he's going to change spots there like that. And that is it for cliffhanger phase. I didn't do any end of phases there. Nobody was on fire, haven't lost any crew for the order, so didn't need to work out whether it had been axed or not. So we'll go across now and we'll add up the plot points for the home guard, and we'll start their activations. Right, so we've got our plot points. We've got 10 in total because they get 8 as a cast and they had 2 in the bank from starting off. So the first person we're going to activate is Ernest Bannerman for 1 plot point. Taking us down to 9. He would immediately do his Leader 2 activation, which he can choose 2 friendly models within 6 inches that have not activated this turn. And we are going to then activate Jimmy James. No, we're going to activate Harry Saunter. Okay, we've activated Harry Saunter, and the first thing he's going to do for his first action, he's going to aim. And I should have been doing this the last game. So the first action, he's going to aim, and then for his second action, he is going to shoot his rifle 24 inches at, let's say, the one in red. So I've declared the strike. Just need to see if it's in. 24 inches, we should be well in. Yeah, well in. 24 inches. So do the defence roll. There's no cover in between me and the fish folk, or that lady in red there. So there's no cover bonuses. And we've got the fish folk hybrid has got a defence of 8. So let's roll the defence. And she gets a 2. Now Harry has aimed, so his strike is +6. So that goes to +7. I will spend a plot point. So I'm down to 8. Me and 3 pluses are not good. So 2 dice. 7 plus strike. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we're good. So we go 7, we go to 12, we go to 13 in total. And that is -1 health for the fish folk. The fish folk only has 1 health, so unfortunately she is no longer of this world. So that's it for Harry. Second person to activate under Mandarin is going to be Jimmy James, and he's going to do exactly the same thing. He is going to aim at this fisherman here, the one with the grey coat on. So we know the fisherman's defence is 8. Fish folks' defence is 8. So we'll roll a dice. We know they're in range. Ooh, there we go. So it's 14 in total. So I will spend a plot point from the home guard to take me down to 7. To add a dice, I'm at 8. So that's at. Ooh. Do you know what? I'm gonna spend another plot point down to 6. To add 2 dice in. So rolling 3 dice, let's see what we get. Yeah, we're good. So that was lucky. So 8, well they're both 8, and they're both rolled a 6. So we know that to equal or exceed is a success. It's -1 health, so that fish folk hybrid again is deceased. That's it for Jimmy James. Jimmy James. And then we go finally back to Bannerman, who's going to do a move. Oops, someone turn that off. He's going to do a move of 6 inches. To be in base contact with that objective. So those have shot, he's gone. Right, now going to activate Fred Sykes for 1 plot point, taking me down to 5. He's going to move once, 6 inches to there. Making sure he's facing towards the Shoggoth. He is going to declare a shot against the Shoggoth. The Shoggoth has horrifying, which means basically, excuse me, models making a fight or shoot attack against this model must pass the spirit statistic test or must count their strike number as half round up against this model till the end of the turn. So what we need to do is take a statistic test against for Fred. A spirit test, he is spirit 3, so we're going to need a 5 up. We are going to need a 5 up to try and hit, or to try and at least shoot the Shoggoth. So let's get the dice cam up. 5 plus. He fails it. So he is horrified by the Shoggoth, but he can still shoot. He can still shoot. So let's work this out. So the Shoggoth is going to be in hard cover because he's got the bus stop sort of a big old bus stop between it and Fred. So hardcover gives +2 defence to the Shoggoth. The Shoggoth is defence 9. Just bring his card up so you can see it. Shoggoth, defence 9. So he goes to defence 11 plus this dice roll. Oh my god. So that is going to be 11 plus 6 is 17. I don't think Fred's going to hit somehow. So Fred is going to roll his dice, his SMG. It's a blast of 3. Don't think I'm going to get anybody else in, but it's a blast 3. Nobody else is within range. Cannot aim. He's already moved anyway. It's -1 health. Now he is SMG 7, so that goes down to 3.5. Then it goes back up to 4. So it's 4 against 17. I'll just roll the dice, and lo and behold, he fails. So he does not hit the Shoggoth. Or we should have rolled 2 dice. It doesn't make any difference. He got 5, so 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus his 4 is 9. So he fails spectacularly against the Shoggoth. Okay, we're going to pay 1 plot point down to 4 to activate Jeffrey Charters. He's going to have to do a double move, I think. Oh no, 6 inches to be in base contact with Sykesy. That's the plot point all spent. You can just about see the Shoggoth. So he will attempt to shoot his rifle at it. So we need to do a horrifying test, and he is Spirit of 3, so we know that that is going to be a 5+. A 5+ to see if he can actually shoot him without it being dodgy. No, he fails as well. The Shoggoth is in hard cover, so his defence goes to 11 plus 2 for defence. So let's roll the Shoggoth's 11, 12. Okay, this makes it a little bit more doable. Well, probably not. Now he goes to strike 4 because it's 7, so it's half, so it goes to 4. And that is at 12. I've only got 3 plot points left. You know what? I'm just going to roll the dice. I'm not going to be able to do anything against it. I don't want to waste the plot points because it would have been an amazing roll to do that. And that is it for Charters. Okay, so we're down to 3 plot points, and we're going to spend 1 of them to activate Donald McGregor, and then we're going to spend another one, taking us down to 1, to get him up, to stand him up, and then he can use his as a special effect. So his one action is to stand up. Second action is to activate the Home Guard reservists in front of him. Let's see if we can get a bit of camera on here. There we go. That's slightly better. So we're activating all these down here, one by one. So we'll start off at the top. He is going to declare. I don't think he can actually see the Shoggoth. Oh, I can clip his base. So I will have a go at a shot. He is Spirit 3, so we know from that he's going to need to roll a 5+ to see if he can even shoot the thing. He fails, so he's going to go down to half strike value. Shoggoth is definitely in hard cover, so he goes to 11 plus this is 15. And then we're going to roll the dice. It's not going to do anything. 15 plus 4, 2 plus 4 is 6, and it doesn't hit. So that's him done. We'll then move on to this one here. Let's take his horrifying test. 5 plus. He does make it right. Okay, now this could be interesting. This could be interesting. So the Shoggoth defense. Let's see what he gets. Oh, 6. So 17. So I need to roll 10. I need to roll 10, which I'm not going to be able to do, but I'll roll the dice. 6 plus his 7 is 13, so that's a miss. Then we go down to this one here. Third one. Sorry, you can't see that because I'm in the. Let me just get a better viewpoint. There we go. That's slightly better viewpoint. So we're on to the third Home Guard reservist, who's going to take his test, and he fails with a 3. Let's go roll the dice for the defence of the Shoggoth. 11 goes to 15. Can't do anything. We'll move down to this one, see if he can pass his test. He fails. Shoggoth's defence. 12. Okay. 12. Now, the Home Guard reserves is 4. So even with a 6, and if I spent a plot point, I get a +1. Oh, okay, hang on a sec. I've got... No, they haven't got military training. Sorry. They haven't got military training. So I'd need to roll a 6 plus a 4 plus would only take me to 11. Can't do it. So this fifth one, see if he passes his test. He doesn't. No point in rolling it because, well, let's roll a Shoggoth. 15. And then the final one down the bottom, he passes. So the Shoggoth's test, he is at 13. So we could do something here. We could do something. So it's a normal hit. 7. It's on 13. I will spend my last plot point to take me to 0. To add a dice in. Let's see what we get. Four plus 7 is 11, and it's on 13. So no, couldn't do it. 11, yeah, 11, yeah, no, that's it. Okay, that is it for the Home Guard. I'm not gonna attempt to steal the scene. Got no models axed or no models that have been taken away, so we're all good. Okay, we've gained our plot points. I've got an additional 6 because I was at 7, but I've lost 2 models, so it's down to 6 now. So I've got 8 in total, 2 from the previous round. The cliffhanger cards we are going to get dramatic monologue. Select an opposing star or co-star. Place the 5-inch blast template centered on that star or co-star. All models not covered by the template are knocked over. Okay, so I think that's a fairly sensible choice over here. 5 inches on Bannerman is only going to get him, but 5 inches on Jamesy is going to knock both of those people over. Jones and Saunter are knocked over. Right, then we're going to activate Mayor Newbury for 1 plot point, taking us down to 7. First things first, he's going to pick the objective up for 2 plot points. 2. So we're up to 9 plot points. That's a free, that's an action to do that. Second thing he's going to do is he's going to move. Just going to move his tree out of the way for a second. He's going to move 6 inches. So there. tree back. And for his second, that was his 2 actions, but he is going to use, he can use a gadget card for free. Let me just check that. I was correct. So using a gadget card is free. He is going to use, Mayor Newbury is going to use the Corazon del Diablo. It's cost a plot point, so that takes us down to 8. One model within range, 6-inch range. So he is within range of Sykes. Receives the captured status and is moved into base contact with the model using the gadget. So Sykesy is taken into base contact with Mayor Newbury and he gets the captured status. And that gadget goes, doesn't stay in play, so that's been used. Now going to pay 1 plot point, taking me down to 7, to activate the Dagonite Priestess, who's going to move 6 inches. Six inches to there, and she will pick up the objective that's there. She can't use her second action, or she's used her both actions. She's moved and she's picked up the objective, so she can't use her Leader 2 ability because it's not a free ability. It's a special effect. So that's the Dagonite Priestess done. We'll then activate the Shoggoth, I think, for 1 plot point, taking me down to 8. The Shoggoth is going to move 6 inches. To there. And then he's going to do a terrifying roar attack on this Home Guard reservist. So the Home Guard reservist is a defense of 8. Yep. So we'll roll the defense dice for the Home Guard reservist. We're up to 12. And this attack is 7. So I am going to spend 2 plot points, taking me down to 6. 3 dice. This is a strike of 7. Let's see what we get. 5, a 3, and a 2. So I am at 12. The Home Guard is at 12, defense 8 plus 4, so that means it hits. It's a 3-inch blast. Those 4 here, let me just take that dice cam out of the way and see if you can get a better view on the side cam. So these 4 here, including Private McGregor, 0 health, but they become neurotic, so bear with me. So what neurotic is, neurotic models must re-roll their highest die on every roll they make and take that result until the status is removed. Neurotic models cannot spend a second move action in a turn unless they pass the mind statistic test. So those 4 are neurotic, and that is it for the Shoggoth. We'll then go to Old Ma Finlay, who's up there in the top. She's going to move, she's going to pay 1 to activate, so this takes us down to 5. First of all, she's going to move 6 inches. To there. and then she's going to pay 1 for unit leader. On the fish folk, that takes me down to 4, and then we can activate those 2 remaining fish folk. So the first fish folk is going to move 6 inches. So there. And then his second activation is going to throw a boat hook at Captain Bannerman. So let's just get those up so you can see them. Oops, fish folk. Here we go. And then we've got Bannerman, who is a defense of 10. Defense of 10. And the strike is a 4. He is the leader, I suppose, but there he is, the star. We'll have a go. So let's roll the dice and see what we get. So this is Captain Bannerman's defense roll, defense of 10. He's at 15. The boat hook throw is at 4+. Don't think I'm going to be able to do anything. I've got some plot points I could spend. No, we'll roll the dice. A 1 doesn't get anything. And then the second fish folk dude is going to do a similar thing. Move 6 inches to there. And then he's going to throw his boat hook at Bannerman. Bannerman's defense roll. Oh no, that's more like it. That's more like it. So that's 1. He's on 11. So I am going to pay. I'm going to put 2 further plot points into this, taking me down to 2. Taking me down to 2, and then we'll roll the dice. Need a 6 really. Oh, what a poor roll. No. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. So that's the fish folk done. Then we're going to move on to the Dagonites. We have not used the unit leader rule, so they're going to move. Let's just move that tree out of the way for a second. We're going to move double move to there for 1 plot point, and then a final plot point taking us down to 0. This one's going to do a similar thing. Poor old Charters is going to feel the pain, maybe. And there we go. That is it for the turn. We haven't got more models axed. We've only got 2 that have been axed, that are out of place. So we're not going to be rolling for being axed. Nothing's on fire, and I'm not going to steal the scene. So we're going to move on now to the Home Guard's turn. Right, so we've got our 8 plot points for the Home Guard, no additionals. We've not lost anybody. So first things first, we're going to turn over Act 1's cliffhanger card. Opening crawl. All move actions are halved this turn. You always get this one. So first things first. Okay, so we're going to play 1 plot point down to 7 to activate Bannerman. For his first action, he's going to pick the objective up to give him 2 plot points. And then his second action, he's going to do his leader 2. Choose 2 friendly models to within 6 inches. James and Saunter are within 6 inches. So we'll go to, and that's pretty much effectively it for Bannerman. He's used both of his actions. So we'll go to James first of all. We're going to pay a plot point to activate him. 1 plot point to stand him back up. This is his first action, effectively. And then he's going to shoot at the fish folk. He's going to shoot at the fish folk 24-inch range, so he's well in. The fish folk have got a defense of 8, I believe. They have got a defense of 8. So let's see what we get. So fish folks, this yellow one with the oar. Let's see what his defense is. Oh dear, takes him to 9. The rifle is 7 plus. I'll risk it for a biscuit. So he's just going to roll his normal dice. I'm not going to do military training. 3 takes me to 10, which does beat, and that's -1 health. So that fish folk dude is dead, and that's it for James. Then we'll go to Saunter, who's going to do exactly the same thing. 1 plot point to activate, 1 plot point to stand up, and then he is going to shoot at the other fish folk. Defense of 8. Oh, 5. So that takes them to 13. So I've added +2 to its strike roll. So I'm now at strike 8. So let's see what he gets. He's 12. Haven't beaten it, I don't think. Defense of 8 is 13. A strike of 6 for his rifle. And he needs to strike 7. I thought he was strike 7, but there we go. Strike 6 +2 is 8, so he misses. That fish folk dude is still alive. Right, this should be interesting. So I'm now going to activate Donald McGregor, who's neurotic here. So 1 plot point to activate him. So it takes me down to 2. And then 1 plot point to activate unit leader. Takes me down to 1. So all of these within 6 inches are going to activate. So we'll start off at the top here, and they're all shooting at the Shoggoth. I've got 1 plot point left. So we need to do our statistic test first of all, and we know that's a 5+ to shoot. So we'll work our way from top to bottom. So top to bottom, let's see if you can get slightly better. I'm going to be going top to bottom along here. So starting off with this dude here. So let's do his horrifying test first of all. 5+. He doesn't make it, so he's halved his statistics. Now the Shoggoth is not in any cover anymore. It's out in the open, so it's straight defense of 9. So what does it get? It's at 12. I should have remembered large last turn. So I'm getting 2 dice. To try and hit it. And it's at 12. My strike is 7+. I am going to use my last plot point to give me another dice give me another dice because I've not got military training. Just want to see if I've hit it. Well, I've passed my test. No, I didn't pass my test, did I? I didn't pass my test. No, leave that plot point. Leave that plot point in the bag. So my strike is 4. Let's roll the dice. So that's oh, okay, hang on a second. Right, so the Shoggoth is 12, defense 9 plus 3. I'm strike of 4, so that's 10, 11. nearly 11. Okay, now here's where things get interesting, because this guy on here, he's got neurotic. So I'm going to roll his spirit test. 5, which he passes, but neurotic says must re-roll their highest die every roll. That is his highest die, so I need to re-roll it, and he fails it. So that's neurotic. So he's going to be shooting at 4 as well. So let's roll the defense dice for Shoggoth. Defense of 9, 13. 2 dice for the Shoggoth. Or shooting. I don't think I can do anything. No, didn't hit. So that's the second one done. Third one, we're going to roll his spirit statistic. He passes with a 6, but that's his highest dice. And he fails with a 4. The Shoggoth's defense of 9 plus 14. 2 dice. I have to re-roll the highest as well. That's 6 plus 4 is 10. That's not enough. Down here, spirit statistic test. Fails, but I have to re-roll it. Fails again. Shoggoth's defense 13. 2 dice because it's large. I'm waiting till we get down here. 2 dice because it's large. Have to re-roll the highest. Nowhere near it. Now, we're on to the non-neurotics. This guy here. Spirit statistic test. 5 plus. Come on. He fails. He fails. Shoggoth's defense roll. Up to 12. Defense of or strike of 7 plus. We'll just roll the 2 dice. No. And then finally, 6th guy down here. Pass your spirit test, buddy. Come on. He does pass. So he's not rolling any dodgy dice. Shoggoth's defense of 9. 11. 2 dice for large. Final plot point spent, taking me down to 0 to add a dice to it. So I'm rolling 3 dice. And we think we get it. So 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 1 is 13. We do finally, after all that, do a wound against the Shoggoth, who's got 3 wounds. Down to 1 wound. Or down to 2 wounds. Whew. And I'm not gonna steal the scene. I've got no models killed yet. So we're not going to be axed. There's no models on fire. Not stealing the scene. We then move across to the next turn for the order. Right, okay, we've got our plot points for the order. We're up to 6, or down to 6 now, because we've lost some models. So we've got to remember we've got Sykesy captured. So first things first, Act 1 cliffhanger card. This is the last Act 1. You cannot move any stars this turn, but co-stars may take 1 additional move or strike action. This allows co-stars to make 2 strike actions this turn. I was going to do something with Mayor Newbury as well. Okay. That changes pretty much what I was going to do with Mayor Newbury then. So I will activate him first of all. and he's going to take a pot shot against Charters. Oh, sorry, I declared it. He's in range 10 inches. Shouldn't be measuring like that. It's a really bad habit I've got. So he's shooting at Charters. Charters has a defence of 8. Mayor Newbury's Derringer is a straight 8 strike. He's going to get no defence plus his modifiers there because he's out in the open. So we'll get the dice cam up and let's get Charters' defence roll. He rolls a 2. Well, that was 1 plot point to activate Mayor Newbury. Apologies. So we're down to 5. And then Mayor Newbury's strike. Let's see what he gets. He gets a 5, which beats Charters 2. His Derringer's -1 health. Charters has got 2 health, so he takes a wound. So he's down to 1 wound. So that's it for Mayor Newbury. Okay, we'll spend a plot point to activate the Dagonite Priestess, who's got an additional move this turn. So she's going to move twice. So she's going to go 1 to there. Oops. 3 to there. 3 to there. And then 6 inches to there. Actually, she's going to go no, we'll go there, 6 inches to there. So that's her 2 moves done. Look all the scenery over. And then effectively, because that was a free move, she's going to do an unholy chant aimed at Bannerman. Six inches, so she's declared it. 6 inches is well in. Defence roll for Bannerman. Gone down to 5, sorry, 4 even. Defence roll for Bannerman. Defence 10. He's at 13. This is a strike of 8. This is a strike of 8. So I am going to add a plot point, add an additional dice in. So she's going to be rolling 2 dice on 8. Come on. Only just. Good job I chucked the additional dice in. 8 plus 5 is 13, which equals. It's 0 health, but Bannerman is now insane. That's good. That's good. I'm going to spend 1 plot point to activate the Shoggoth. Down to 2. The Shoggoth is going to do a move. 6 inches into base contact with the guy. There we go. That's a better shot. So we have moved into base contact with this guy in the middle. This one here. So the Shoggoth is going to get a free fight attack. Now the Holmes Guard reservist is defense 8. He is neurotic. He's not trying to hit him, so it's not an attack. So let's roll the defense dice for him. He rolls a 2. That is the highest roll he's rolled. That's the way I'm interpreting neurotic. That is the highest roll, so I have to re-roll it. And it's a 2. So he's currently defense 10. We're going to do we'll do the monstrous maul, which is a 6. No, we're going to do the crush, which is a 7+ strike. 7+. He gets it with an 11. So that then means it's blast of 3, 0 health, captured. Now the way I read that, and I could be wrong, is 3 inches. Anybody within 3 inches, the blast template is captured. I could be wrong, but the 3 inches, that's those 4, are effectively captured. Otherwise, why would it? Yeah, that's the way I'm going to play it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all neurotic. And all 4 of them are captured. Oh, I've only got 3 captured. I might be playing that wrong. And he's moved. So his last action, because he had the moved and it was a free strike because he charged. I think I'm outside of 1 inch. I'll declare a... Actually, I'm going to do a terrifying roar against this dude here. It's an 8-inch range, so he's well in. Defense of 8. He rolls a 3, so he's on 11. He's not neurotic, so he's fine. Terrifying roar is a 7+. We fail. Shoggoth fails. That is it for the Shoggoth. Tell me if please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong on that, because otherwise why would it have a 3-inch blast? He's got loads of tentacles he's holding on to stuff with. So that's it for the Shoggoth. Okay, that's it for the Shoggoth. All we've got left now, or what I want to activate, are the Dagonite here. I'm going to activate down to 2. So I'm going to activate this Dagonite here, who is going to move into base contact. Actually, no, sorry, let's activate this Dagonite here, who's going to move into base contact with Charters. And because he's ended base contact in base to he's ended his movement base to base contact, he's going to get a free strike, which is a 7+. Defense roll for Charters is 8. Oh dear, Jeffrey. And then we're going to do the attack roll, 7+ with his Coral Blade. He gets him with a 2, only just. So strike of 7 + 2 is 9. Defense of 8 + 1 is 9, so it's successful. It does a wound to Jeffrey. That's his second wound. He is out of play. He's gone, bless him. Then for my final plot point, guess I'm down to 0. Going to activate this Dagonite, who's going to move forward 6 to there. And then he's going to declare an unholy chant at this Home Guard reservist. It's a 3-inch. So he's in 3 inches. The reservist defence is 8. So let's roll to see what we get on that. Oh, hello. Somebody's had a drop of scotch. So he's currently at 14. I need to roll a 7. I can't do it. No. Would have made him insane. Would have made him insane. There we go. So that is it for the order. Now, are they going to steal the scene? I don't think they are. I don't think they are. Right, so let's tidy up the board. And so first of all, is the car stacked? No. Still got 3 models off the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the board. That's all good. Nobody's on fire, and I'm not going to steal the scene. So we now move to Home Guard, start of Act 2. Right, before we move on, I forgot that Bannerman's currently insane. Now, insane says if the status is not removed, which it hasn't been, then in the end phase, which we're still in, a model affected by the insane status will gain a free fight attack against the nearest model within 6 inches. Move the insane model into base contact with its victim. The attacking model is not subject to free strikes, but they may not add additional dice to the free attack. So, let's see who you can. I think we can see from the TV there, or the screen. Saunders is 5.5. Jonesy is about 6, and then Fisherman's Friend there is going to be less than that. It's about 4. So Bannerman is going to go barreling. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh no. The Priestess is closer. So she's 3.5. Yeah. Bannerman, nearly forgot about that, is going to go barreling towards the Priestess. Okay. Let's see what Bannerman can do against the Priestess. He's going to go do a baton swish. Right, okay, so let's see. The Dagonite Priestess is defense 9, so let's get her defense roll up. Make sure she's got nothing on there. No. So straight roll, 9 plus 3 is 12. Bannerman's baton swish is 9 plus as well, so he needs a 3 or more to take a wound off the Priestess. He does. Oh no, it's weakened. She's weakened. So let's put a weakened status on her. There we go. Right, get back to the table and then we'll crack on with Home Guard's turn. Right, Home Guard's turn. Let's turn over the cliffhanger. We're now in Act 2. Let's see what we get. Narrow escape. A single star or co-star in base contact with an enemy model may immediately move out of base contact. This model does not suffer free strikes. The only one in base contact is Bannerman, and I think I want to leave him. I think I'm going to leave him. May immediately move out, so I'm not going to do that. Or do I? Actually, I think I do. Yeah, of course I do. We'll move him out an inch. So then he can charge. Then he can charge. Think about it, MB. Think about it. Right. Okay. So we've only got 5 plot points to play with. We need to start doing some damage because there's going to be some of these models coming off the table in a sec. Okay, right, we're going to pay 1 plot point to activate Bannerman. We're going to play 1 plot point to remove Insane, and then he's going to move into base contact with the Dagonite Priestess, and then he's going to hit her with his Baton Swish. We know that Priestess is defense 9, so let's see what she gets. 5. Oh, sod it. I'm going to be the wrong move. Down to 2, so I'm rolling 2 dice. Well, I've paid 1 for military training, effectively. Adds +1 to its strike roll, so I'm now at strike 10. 13 against 14. Doesn't hit her. And then for his second action, he's going to hit her again. So her defense roll. That's better. His attack roll. Hits her. Applies the weakened status, but she's already weakened. So she takes a wound. And that is it for Bannerman. Right, I'm now going to pay 1 to activate Jones. So I'm down to 1 plot point. He, for his first action, is going to aim, which takes me to fight 8. Rifle 8, 24-inch range. He's going to shoot at this one here. 24 inches is well in. So the defense roll for the fish folk is an 8. Let's see what they get. 4, so that's 12. And then Jonesy, see what he gets. A 2 is a 10, so that's nothing. Right, so some sacrifices going on here, I think. So for my final plot point, down to 0, I'm going to activate this Home Guard Reservist, this Home Guard Reservist, this one here, who's going to charge the Shoggoth, like so. Now we need to do a horrifying test on him. Spirit of 3, so we need a 5 up. He fails. So his strikes are going to be at half, rounded up. So the Shoggoth's defense is 9, plus 3 is 12. The bayonet is 6 down to 3. We're at 5, so it doesn't do anything. And that is it for the Home Guard's turn. This could be curtains now. Well, now, do the Home Guard want to steal the scene? Right, so there's a few things I've just read up on that I need to take one by one. Page 30 of the Pulp rulebook states that an enemy model can hold only 1 model captive at a time. I'm probably missing something, but I don't get the Shoggoth's crush attack is a 0-inch range, blast 3, 0 health, captured. So that would indicate to me that anyone in that blast range is captured. So this must be a special rule for the Shoggoth that he can capture more than 1 person. That's the way I'm reading it. I could be wrong, and I apologise if I am. Secondly, it says captured models remain in play until the end of a chapter. Now it then says models held captive at the end of the chapter count as being removed from play. Well, they were captured at the end of Act 1. The Home Guard just activated the first card of Act 2. So those 4 models were captured at the end of the chapter, which I'm assuming is Act 1 going into Act 2. So again, the way I'm reading it is they are removed from play. I'm hoping I've played this right. If not, it's a bit of a bugger's muddle, but there we go. That's the way I've interpreted it. So that means, let's just go back a second to the end of the turn and counting whether the cast is axed or not. There's 5 models off, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on. So we are only just okay. We are only just okay. And then I was going to steal the scene, which I'm still going to do, so bear with me. Right, okay, first things first, second card of Act 2, and what the Home Guard are going to get, Time to Shine. Choose one of your extras. This model can make 1 strike immediately, which automatically succeeds if the target is in range and line of sight. One of my extras. Okay, so it's going to be this extra down here, who's going to do a fight strike, which is automatically succeeds. He is in range, so he puts another wound on. Just make sure it does damage. Bayonet, yeah, 1 inch range, -1 health, which is done. Excellent. That was good. So first things first, we're going to activate Bannerman, who's going to attempt to hit the priestess with his baton swish. So let's see what the priestess gets as a defense roll. Oh, she got 6. She got 6. Oh. So she's at 15. The baton swish is 9. I've only got 2 plot points. I've taken 1 off. So let's just go a roll. We need a 6. Come on, Ernest. You can do it. You can do it. No. That's it. Okay, that's Bannerman done. Right, we're now moving on to the Home Guard reservists. Let's see. So we've got 1 here that's holding up the Shoggoth. We're going to try and see if we can do some damage here. So first of all, we're going to activate this Home Guard reservist, who's going to aim to take his rifle to 8 against the defense of the Dagonite, which is 7. So let's see what we can do. Let's get the Dagonite to roll. Oh my god, seriously. A 6. Let's see what the Home Guard gets. A 3. So the Dagonite is on 13 and the Rifleman is on 10. So it does nothing. Risk it for a biscuit. This Home Guard reserveman's going to go into the Shoggoth. Go into the Shoggoth. We'll do a spirit statistic test on him. Needs a 5 up. He fails, so his fighting is going to be halved. So he's down to 3. Shoggoth is defense 9. So that's 12. 6. Nothing. And that is it for the Home Guard. A very lackluster turn, unfortunately. Okay, right, we've got our 6 points for our plot points, but we'll just, first things first, we'll do the cliffhanger card, Act 2, and we get never work with animals. Until the start of your next turn, all animals in your cast count as part of your opponent's cast. If you have no animals, gain 1 plot point. Not an animal, not an animal, not an animal. Shoggoth? That's not. I don't think that's classed as an animal, so I'm not going to. So we're going to get an additional plot point. Takes us to 7. The first things first, we're going to activate Mayor Newbury for 1 plot point. So down to 6. He's going to move 6 inches. Taking Sykesy with him to be touching that objective. And then for his second action, he's going to pick up that objective, which is going to give him 2 plot points. And that is it for Mayor Newbury. Okay, we're then going to activate this Dagonet for 1 plot point, taking us down to 7. And he's going to double move off the board. So I'll put him there so I know he actually escaped. I'll then spend another plot point to activate this Dagonet, who's going to move 12, and he's going to run off the board as well. So that's 2 off the board. Then what we're going to do is we are going to activate the Shoggoth, do a monstrous maw attack. He can fight twice in a turn as long as both attacks are different. So first thing he's going to do is a monstrous maw attack on this one here. So Home Guard Reservist is defense 8. And he gets to 13. The monstrous maw attack is 7. Is 6. So I'm going to spend 2 plot points. Down to 3. Add 2 dice. Monstrous maw attack 6 plus. Oh, that's good. 5, 6, 7 in total. Plus 6 is 13. We actually equal it. 5 plus 8 for the defense is 13. 5 plus 6 is 11, 12, 13. Good job we did spend those 2 dice. The monstrous maw attack is -1 health, so he is dead. And then his second action is a fight, which he's allowed to do, and he's going to do a crush attack on that Home Guard Reservist. Let's see what he gets. He gets a 4, so that takes him to 12. I need a 5 plus. So that spend another one down to 2. 2 dice. 6 and a 1. So 6 plus 6 is 6 plus 7 is 13. 4 plus 8 is 12, which means he's captured. And I do only capture the 1 this time. He's captured. So that is it for the Shoggoth. Okay, we'll spend a plot point down to 1 to activate the priestess, who's weakened. He's got 3 wounds, Bannerman. And the aim of this scenario is not to kill stuff, it's to run away. So, to get to the other side of the board. So she's going to move just to 6 inches. She's going to run away to there. But he will get a free strike. I haven't forgotten about that. Right, so Bannerman's going to take a free hit or a free strike against the priestess. So she's just going to be a straight defense 9. Bannerman's baton swish is 9, so let's roll it. he gets a hit with a 10. She becomes weakened, which is enough because she's already got the weakened status on her. So she is, he bat and swipes her as she runs past and kills her. Because she's weakened and she's already got 1 wound on her. So she is deceased. Deceased. Okay, that's it for the Dagonite Priestess. And then finally we'll go to the fish folk guy at the top, who's going to activate for 1 action, or 1 point, and peg it 12 inches. Oh, not enough. Just short. 12 inches takes him to there. Just off the camera, he's an inch away from the edge. Now, end of the turn, we see if our models are axed. So we've got 4 kills and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the table. 4 on the table. We haven't got more models removed from play than in play, so they don't axe themselves. And I will choose to steal the scene. The Home Guard have stolen the scene, but the Order haven't. Okay, here we go then for the Order. Let's turn over the cliffhanger card. I've stolen the scene, so I'm going to turn 2 cards over. So Act 2, Backlot. Models do not gain any benefits from being in or behind hard or soft cover. Don't think that's really going to make too much difference. I'll leave that to one side so I can see it. And then aerial acrobatics. Any models taking a body statistic test this turn gain +1 to their rolls. Again, don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. So we're now on to actually to the finale cards. First time in the game, in the first 3 games. Awesome. Right, so I've only got 3 points to play with, but I think that's going to be enough to really put pressure on the Home Guard. So first activation is the Shoggoth down here, who's going to move off twice to peg it. So that's a winning. I take it he gets dragged with him as well. Back to the lovely deep water of Holy Island. You never know, he may make a reappearance as a fish folky type person. Then we're going to activate the fish folk up here in the corner for 1 point. So we're down to 1. He goes off. And then poor old Mar Finlay's a bit out there on her own, but I'm going to activate Mayor Newbury, who's going to move for 6. Let's come down there so you can see him. Dragging poor old Sykes here along with him, still captive. And then Mayor Newbury, so that was my last activation, down to 0. He's going to take a shot with his revolver at this Home Guard reservist. Home Guard reservist is a defense of 8. So let's see what he gets. He gets a 6. That's the guy that had the shot of whiskey earlier. The revolver is a strength 8, so I could get a 6 here to kill him. That'd be awesome. No, a 4. Doesn't do anything. There we go. That is it for the turn of the Order. That was very sharp and quick. So I'll get reset and then we'll go on to the Home Guard. But before we do that, I need to do the end phase. So let's work this all out. So in the end phase, determine if my cast has been axed. So I've currently got 2 models on the table, and 4 have been killed. The other 4 don't count. The escape scenario specifically says modelling and escaping cars can move off the playing area edge of their chosen escape route. Models doing so are considered to have escaped and do not count as removed from play when determining axe tests. However, I've got 4 that have been killed and I've got 2 on the table. So I've got more killed than are on the screen. So in my head, I have to take the spirit test. So let's bring that up. Mayor Newbury is a spirit of 5, so he needs a 3 up. Oh, he's not very good at passing these tests. And then if the test is passed, there's no effect. If the test is removed, we remove 1d6. So 1d6. There we go. They're removed from play. And that is the end of the game. So we just need to calculate victory points. If the defenders manage to escape with half their models or more, gain 2 VP. No, I didn't, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 models in total, and I only got 4 off the board. If the attackers manage to prevent this, they gain 2 VP. So the attackers get 2 VP. The defenders do not gain VP for removing attacking stars or co-stars. Instead, they gain 1 VP for each star that manages to escape. I forgot about that MacGuffin thing. Oh well, never mind. So 2 VPs, 3 VPs because of the objective they've got, and 3 VPs. The enemy cast is axed. They get +1 for that, so they go to 4 VPs because the order were axed. Each objective token held. That's good. Each enemy co-star or star removed from play. So I think, looking at it, although I got 4 off, it was a draw. It was a draw because the Home Guard have got 4 victory points. 3 for the objective, 1 for the objective, 2 for if the attackers prevented it, and then 1 extra because the cast was axed. And then this side I've only got 3 VPs for the 3 objectives, so it was a draw. There we go. So nobody holds the village hall. It remains neutral. But it was I felt this was a much more balanced game. Obviously, it shows from the result a 4-3 draw. Getting to know the casts now, getting to know the special rules. I'm still forgetting stuff, but when you're playing a game like this on your own, you are bound to forget stuff. But moved the camera about a bit more this time, so I hope you've enjoyed that. And on that note, we will see how the Disciples of the Crimson Desert get on against the Morris Men in the next game. 2 strong crews, 2 crews that steamrolled previous casts. So be interesting to see how they get on. So it's Morris Men versus Cultists. Can't beat it. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Thanks for watching. If you could like and subscribe to the videos and the channel, that would be really appreciated. And I will see you on the next video. Tutty bye for now.